So first thing first, let's understand what we are trying to do. So the end goal is to host a static website, right, on our cloud provider, AWS. So let me just walk you through the whole flow here. So this is our end user, just the same way you probably access google.com or any website, right? You're accessing it as a user. So for the website that we are going to be hosting, users are going to be accessing it through route Amazon Route 53, right? And then I will explain in detail, right? But this basically resolves the domain name to the IP address, right? So basically for google.com, right, it has an IP address behind it. The reason why there is google.com is because you can, as users can easily remember that. You can remember 8.8.8.8, which is actually the IP address of google.com. That is more user friendly. So that's what this does. It resolves that domain name, that human readable name, to the IP address that is machine readable. So from here, we have a region, right? We have a VPC. Now VPC, an internet gateway is attached to it, right? And the reason for this is that the internet gateway allows the resources in our VPC and even the VPC itself to be able to have access to the internet, right? And we'll be creating SSH keys definitely to access our servers, AIM role, and we need to do special things. We'll explain that in more detail. Amazon S3 bucket, when we are going to have we'll put our project, our static files there, right? That will eventually now host on our EC2 instance. These are EC2 instance here. Certificate manager, you would see that as well. So basically, we have a bastion host. We have NAT gateway. This where our applications are going to be inside this place. We are going to configure it. We are going to install and configure it inside our web servers here, and then it's going to eventually have a database, right? We're going to start with hosting a static website, yes, but the overall end goal is to host a dynamic website. So we're going to take one step at a time. First, we're going to host a static website. Secondly, we're going to host a dynamic website. That's where this comes in. For a static website, we don't need database, right? But for a dynamic website, we need database. We need to store the data of our users. For instance, if you log in into an application, you log in with your username and password, that those credentials are being stored in the database such that if you want to log in again and you input the details, you'll be authenticated and you'll be able to have access into the website or platform. But imagine probably you were typing your password and your password was wrong, or you missed a character. You would see that the system will not give you access, right? Because you are not been authenticated, meaning the password that you have put in is not the same thing that as what is in the system, right? So this is exactly what we want to do, right? So just keep this in mind. It looks like a lot currently, but I will take it one step at a time. So I just don't need just flow right with uh, the project and let's learn together. All right. So in the next video, we'll start by locating our region and then creating our VPC, right? See you in the next video.